adventure, got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass there. So up in summertime, I undermine the underlying fact that I scrape pennies, but I want a dime. She's something else, I got it now. Well, yeah, my dude, she's something fine. And since I got a shot at her, they salty. I tell them suck a lime, I wasn't mine. Now I'm just clowning, trying to scrape a number. Smile after I take it from her. Copacetic today, but in 2 days disintegrate to bummers. I thought I won her over, but I just created blunders. The game I hate and love her. Thinking back to times of playing B because of breaking rubbers. I was a wild child and still extra. All these women still extra. I'm just trying to find an ill chick and a chill spectrum to make my broken heart feel better. Let the ship set sail off to adventure. Got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass. Let the ship set sail off to adventure. Got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass there. Pass there. Pass there. Pass there. Pass there. Pass there.
Welcome back. Oh, yeah. That's right, baby. Why is my skin so shiny? That's right, baby. It's Saturday, noon, April 25th, 2026. You're watching One More Round Fights, motherfucker. I'm the host of this here channel. My name's Gaff. I do this shit once a week now. We give you guys MMA and boxing tips, picks, parlays, tricks, you know. Oh, that shit. And this is a programming that you guys aren't used to seeing. Well, the general public, really. This is usually a members only programming. But since I didn't have any content this week, since CP Units was a no-go because Yusuf Zalal is not in the game, since a multitude of things happened and I was busy all week, I got freed up. It's Saturday. Let's talk these bets, baby. Let's talk these bets. But before we get into that, we got some housekeeping. Don't forget, you got to sub to the channel, bitch. I'm doing this for free. We got a UFC Fight Night. All right. I'm going to be giving out free props, free dogs, free, all that. Okay. Least you can do is not be a dickhead and subscribe to the channel. So go ahead and subscribe. Follow One More Round Fights on all socials. You can also see the handles there. It's One More Round Fights everywhere except for X. That's One More Round F8. Elon, you can cash these motherfucking hands. Use a bitch for your character limit. But anyways, please go ahead and follow the socials. That's where we put out our parlays. That's where we put out random social cut downs, all those types of stuff so you guys can stay in touch with the One More Round community. And One More Round F8, we tweet when we're going live, all that type of stuff. Stay updated with the One More Round Fight Sphere. So go ahead and follow on X as well. We got merch. You see it behind me. Clubber, Subber, Dubber tees. We got shot glasses on the way. As long as you guys get to 850, this is your weekend to do it. We got to get to 850. I think we're at like 825. So 25 souls out there, 25 accounts. You get subscribed, and we put those One More Round shot glasses up on the store. All right. So 850 is the goal, motherfuckers. Let's get to it. And don't forget, I'm putting belt to ass left and right on the main card minute, whether it's I'm smacking up the books on a Saturday or a Friday, or I'm smacking up an opponent on prop quiz. It don't matter what the fuck going down. I'm putting belt to ass on Main Card Minute. All right, so don't forget to follow them as well. But yeah, this is the locker room. If you guys don't know what we do in the locker room, we take analysis on the fight card as a whole. So first we go take a look at the overs, the decision props, then we take a look at the unders, the knockouts, the subs, the money lines that make it worth it, the underdogs that make it worth it. We look at it in totality as a whole. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing here. And shout out to everybody that knows the programming. Shout out to the members. Those are the motherfuckers with the different colored names in the chat. All right. Those be the members. The ride or dies right there. You guys should be getting this regardless. But yeah, we're giving it out to the public just this one time because we didn't put out any content this week. We got to. It's only right. It's only right. Let's level the playing field. Okay. Let's see who's in this chat. Cosmo, we are so back with the one more round logo, the join emoji, the Carlos Prates emoji. Yo, Carlos Prates next weekend. I don't give a fuck what shiny, muscle, shirtless fucking pics you got of JDM. Carlos Prates is going to walk in there with a bottle of fucking rum, a joint, or a cigarette in the other hand, and he's going to put belt to ass, and he's knocking out JDM, brother. We're rocking with Prates. You already know what the fuck going down. I got my Prates shirt. I'm sorry, Luke. The Aussies are taking yet another L. Okay. All right. That's what's going down. Lazy Bet is in the chat. Get it. And then he says, follow one more round fights on X. Thank you, Lazy. I appreciate you. Always a good moderator, brother. Get your merch. Oh, yeah. He's doing his job out here. Thank you, Lazy. And then Me Rocket says, what about the Dubber Parlay? I do have the Dubber Parlay. I will be dropping that at the end of this. So if you're sweating the one more round parlays, if you're here for the locker room, you will see the one more round parlay, the one more round high risk parlay, and you will see the Clubber Subber Dubber Parlay by the end of the stream. I will be posting it after the stream. All right. So right at the end, I will drop those. Check out those as well. Nashline 33 says, let's fucking go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I mean, we got to talk about this card. This card kicks off in just under 5 hours. We got Aljo, Long Island stand up. I don't have my Aljo shirt on yet. I can't be fully biased just yet. I got to wait till the card starts to put on my Aljamain Sterling shirt. All right. But just know, a couple motherfuckers on death row tonight. All right. That's why I got this shirt on. Couple motherfuckers, and their careers are on death row tonight. And you'll know who when you hear me talking about their records and all that when I go through the chart at the end of this. Yeah, the chart will be shown here as well. I got you, Richland. I got you. But yeah. Aljo, baby. Aljo. You already know I'm rocking with him. If you're looking for a good analysis on the main event, I would go somewhere else. Just the main event. Just so you know, I'm from Long Island. I live 2 towns away from Aljamain Sterling. He's one of my favorite fighters. Ain't no motherfucking way I'm giving up plus money Aljamain Sterling on this beautiful Long Island Saturday. That ain't happening. Aljamain Sterling will be in my parlay. Aljamain Sterling, I will be shamelessly taking Aljamain Sterling. That being said, I will provide you solid analysis on that fight, but just know that the pick will be Aljamain Sterling regardless of what the analysis says. Okay? So I'm just letting you know that right now. But let's get into this show. Oh, wait. Hold on. Me Rocket says, do you think Super Sadiq Zalal will win? I think I just answered that a couple seconds ago. But if you're thinking analysis-wise, if you want to know what my analysis brain is thinking, I'm going to say no. I do truly think that Aljamain Sterling wins this bout on this beautiful Saturday night. All right. At Long Island, it may be raining on Long Island, but it's good. The sun is going to be shining on Aljamain Sterling in Vegas today. I'm telling you that. The sun is shining on my boy Aljo in Vegas. It's raining out here, but it's shining over there. All right. That's what's happening. And then Cosmo says, I hope Yusuf wins. How dare you, Cosmo? You're just going to go shamelessly against me like that, bro? I thought we were cool, man. I thought we was like this, Cosmo. Come on, bro. You know I'm Aljo all day. I'm going to have my Aljo shirt on when this card starts. You already know what's going down. But Zalal has a chance, but the problem is Zalal has to finish him. So, all right, let me get into the analysis. I'm getting too deep in the weeds here. Let's talk, right? All right, so we got lowers for this. Let's start with our overs on the card. All right, so let's talk about our overs in this locker room segment here. There's a lot of fights that I feel I can go over. There's a lot of fights that I feel I can go over. Let's talk about the 2.5s first. Let's talk about the 2.5s and get those off the board. All right. The 2.5s I'm feeling Talita Alencar, Julia Polastri. I know Talita Alencar is jiu-jitsu, world class. She has 4 subs in her 7 wins, all this kind of stuff. But half of those wins are decisions. All right. And Polastri, just about half of her wins are decisions as well. I'm taking this to go the distance. I like the over 2.5 in that. So you can believe that women's strawweight bout between Talita Alencar and Julia Polastri, I'm taking that over 2.5. Now, these next 2 fights are a little sweaty for me. They do have high 2.5 potential. Talking about the Max Griffin and Valenzuela fight and the Marshall Brennan fight, I'm not going to be taking them at the 2.5 though. I'm going to be taking them at the 1.5, mainly because Max Griffin, old. I think he's 40 years of age and has a shit ton of fights in the UFC, going against a young killer in Valenzuela who has 9 finishes in his 13 fights. Yeah, I would have to dial that 2.5 back to a 1.5 there. And then as for the Marshall Brennan fight, I believe this is a short notice fight for Brennan, but keep in mind that this fight is up a weight class. Marshall normally fights at featherweight. This bout is happening at lightweight. So this will be beneficial for Brennan for his gas tank, facing a naturally smaller opponent. A number of things there where I could lead to an over 1.5, where I would feel comfortable with an over 1.5 there. So yeah, these next 2, I'm leaning not overs at all. So let me skip over those. We'll get to that when we get to that. Mayra Bueno Silva and Michelle Montague. Now this fight pisses me off. Well, it doesn't piss me off. Montague pisses me off because Montague, I took her in her last bout in the UFC. She came into the UFC 6-0, 6 submissions. And I'm like, oh, great. She's going to sub this girl that's been subbed multiple times. And guess what Montague did? She went to fucking decision. Yeah, I was on some random job in Maryland when I remember, because I was watching this shit on a little fucking phone while I was doing the job. I was like, she's going to sub her. She's told, oh my God, it's a decision. I remember vividly. So fuck that. So Montague, she's not on my list of fighters that do me well money-wise, right? Again, Mayra Bueno Silva looked terrible on the scale. Absolute terrible. She looked like skin and bones up there. Demeanor terrible, everything terrible. All right. So a lot of people I could see leaning under here. I wouldn't take the 2.5. If at most, I would take the 1.5 here. A lot of Bueno Silva's fights have hit me over 1.5. A solid amount of Montague's where she doesn't get the finish in round 1 have gotten the over 1.5. So I would dial that back to 1.5, not a 2. Moving up. And then the 2.5s that I'm feeling after that, I'm feeling the Davy Grant Martinetti fight. I mean, he went to absolute war with Mark Volodkin, who we just saw fight last weekend, and he still went the distance with him. Davy Grant always going long, but the problem with Davy Grant is he was finished in his last fight. He is also 40 years of age, so that one does feel sweaty, but I think the savviness of Davy Grant and his octagon experience will outweigh the toughness and output of Adrian Luna Martinetti and make it pretty even, to which I think this will go the distance. So I'm gonna go take a 2.5 there. 1.5 might be your best bet, but I think I'm gonna take a chance on the 2.5 there. And then at lightweight, Rafa Garcia, Alexander Hernandez. I know Alexander Hernandez literally has 4. Is it 4 finishes in his last 4 fights? Let me see. Hold on. Okay. He's on a 4-fight win streak with his last 2 by KO. Okay. So possible half his fights go the distance. And with Rafa Garcia, he's 4-1 in his last 5. His lone loss was a TKO to Grant Dawson, who is a motherfucker on the ground. So 1.5 feels good there for me. 2.5 is something I'd be willing to take and not feel too sweaty about. Because again, Alexander Hernandez did get 2 KOs in his last 2 bouts, but do you expect him to get 3 KOs in 3 bouts? I know he's doing well now, but Rafa Garcia is always a tough out. And the way that Grant Dawson got him out of there is he had to ground and pound him. He had to keep him somewhere. It's not like he just beat him up on the feet. And that's what Alexander Hernandez is going to try to do. He does have some top control on the ground, but That's not the type of game that's going to finish Rafa Garcia, especially from Alexander Hernandez. So I like the over 2.5 there. And the last two over 2.5s I kind of like is the Norma Dumont Jocelyn Edwards fight. I know Jocelyn Edwards has been scaring the shit out of us because she's on a 4-fight win streak with literally 4 finishes, 2 KOs, and 2 subs. So she's been absolutely destroying these ladies up the ladder. And then Norma Dumont never really gets finishes. 2 subs. She's got 2 finishes in her entire career. The rest of those 11 wins are decisions. So I would favor this to go the distance, especially if you guys like Norma Dumont. I, however, will be taking the dog. Shout out to Luke, the dog with the spread, dog money, both ladies by decision. That's all happening for me. All right. And sorry, I'm going to take the over 2.5, the over 2.5 there. And in the main event, featherweight, Aljo, Zalal, I like the 2.5. I know the line is set at 3.5 or 4.5, depending on your book. I like 2.5. Bring it down to a normal fight length. So I would do a 2.5 parlay with just the main card fights and a 2.5 parlay with Alan Carr. Oh, yeah, that was it. Alan Carr. So it would be the Grant fight, the Garcia fight, the Dumont fight, the main event, and the Alan Carr fight over 2.5. I like all of those to go over 2.5. For the over 1.5s, the fight that I like, I already talked about it, Max Griffin, Victor Valenzuela. It just scares me because he's 40, but a lot of his fights have gone to the over 1.5. I like the Marshall Brennan fight. I know it's short notice, but it is up a weight class. I tend to think these guys go longer because they have a little bit more durability on them. What else? Over 1.5. I like the Bueno Silva Montig. I'll tell you about that one. Rodolfo Vieira and Eric Mecanico. I think this fight could go the distance, honestly. So I like the over 1.5. We've seen Vieira have to, if he doesn't get the finish early, he has to lean on his other skills, and it doesn't usually favor him late in fights as his gas tank leaves him. Over 1.5 feels pretty good, but an over 2.5 feels scary. But I do think it goes the distance, so maybe you could get yourself a plus money 2.5 in that fight. Who knows? Marcus Buchecha and Ryan Spann. I know Luke is on the over 1.5 in that. I'm actually on the under 2.5 on that. We'll get to that in a second. But over 1.5 is possible in that fight. So I'm just saying. And then Montel Jackson, Hani Barcelos, over 1.5, brother. Montel Jackson could knock him out. Yes, very scary. But Barcelos has the grappling game to slow the fight down. We saw this exact game plan done to Montel Jackson. So this is a second chance at this test for him with a smaller opponent. Keep that, well, similar size opponent. I guess Figgy is now a full size bantamweight. But yeah, Montel Jackson, he's going to have an 8-inch reach advantage, 3-inch height advantage. He was on a 6-fight win streak before this fight. I know Barcelos is on a 4-fight win streak currently, but Montel Jackson's just too big, too strong. He's got too much going for him. He's much younger than Hani Barcelos. I'm giving Montel Jackson the nod here. I got to go with Montel and the over 1.5. He's going to take his time because last time he let Figgy get too deep in on those hips, spent too much time trying to get Figgy off of him. So I think he's going to take his time here, keep him on the outside, pepper him, maybe finish late, but I think a Jackson decision is possible there. And then the last 1.5, yeah, I think that's it for 1.5s. All right, so those are all the overs. And now that we talked about the overs, we might as well talk about the decision props, right? Before I get back to chat here. So like I was saying, the decision props, first fight of the night, ladies, I like Julia Polastri to beat Talita Alencar by decision. All right, I like that. Julia Polastri, 14-5. Okay, she's only ever lost by decision as well. She's never been finished. Alencar has never been finished as well. Fight, I think, will go the distance, and I think Polastri, with the better striking, with being the larger opponent in size and reach, I think Polastri is going to get the job done by decision. I think Valenzuela could get a decision here too against Max Griffin. His durability is in question because, again, he's 40. But Valenzuela, literally 9 finishes and 13 wins. All 4 of his losses are by finish as well. So it doesn't make me feel better. But Griffin to finish Valenzuela, I don't know about that. I think this fight goes the distance. I think Griffin's durability holds up. Valenzuela gets the nod. Yo, we'll get to this later, but I think this fight goes the distance. Marshall and Lucas Brennan. Um, yeah, I know Francis Marshall got a quick sub in his last fight, but if you look at his record, Marshall has 1 KO, 5 subs, 6 finishes in his 9 wins. This fight is a lightweight. It's going to be harder to get his opponent to the ground, even though this fight is on short notice. And keep in mind that Lucas Brennan has 2 KOs and 8 subs in his 11 wins. So 10 of his fights, 11 wins, have not gone the distance. So Lucas Brennan hasn't gone the distance as well. But again, this is short notice. I could see him biding his time, taking his time, playing it easy, and this fight going long. All right. So we'll see what happens. Another decision, Michelle Montague and Mayra Bueno Silva. I know she looked like shit on the scale. I know all the things, but she's only been finished once. That being said, think about all the times we've seen her on the scale looking like dog shit, and she's only been finished once. So yeah, even Montague couldn't even finish Luana Carolina in the last bout. You think she's I'm gonna take that to go the distance. Montague by decision. Okay, Montague by decision. At middleweight, I think Rodolfo Vieira and Eric McConaughey is gonna go the distance. A lot of these fights I think is going the distance. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's a little slow Saturday at the Apex in Vegas. Eric McConaughey, I think, could very much steal this. Vieira might have a really good round 1 in which he almost gets it done. McConaughey, I feel, will come roaring back in the later rounds with his gas tank, with his clinch control. And then I could even see McConaughey getting a TKO finish at the end here. McConaughey really comes on strong at the end of the fights. His last 3 fights have gone the distance. Sorry. He in his last 3 fights, he was KO'd twice. But when he did win, he went the distance. Okay. So I think Vieira is going to come out the gate fast, maybe burn his gas tank too early, and McConaughey steals it in the end. He seems to always put himself in these close decisions if he doesn't get finished. So I like that from McConaughey decision in that fight. And then Montel Jackson, Barcelos, I already told you all these last 5 fights on the main card. I like to go the distance. Jackson, Martinetti, Hernandez, Edwards, Sterling, all 5 of their fights, I like it to go the distance. I like these fights to go long on this Saturday. I mean, Edwards, we already talked about the overs in all these fights, so I'm not going to hammer it home too much, but I like it going the distance. And then just speaking on the main event, because I know you guys want to hear about that, Zalal 18-5-1, 4 KOs, 10 subs. So 14 of his 18 wins are by finish. All right. He has never been finished. Okay. Sterling, 25-5, 3 KOs, 8 subs. He's only been finished twice. We remember the Marlon Moraes free KO, which he kind of went into. And then obviously the Sean O'Malley knockout for Sean O'Malley to win the belt. Do we think Yusuf Zalal subs in Aljamain Sterling, who's never been subbed? I don't think so. So I think this fight goes the distance. Whether it's Sterling or Zalal, pick your poison. I'm picking my Jamaican rum. We're going with Aljamain Sterling. All right. So Aljamain Sterling decision, that fight. And yeah, those are all the decisions I have for this card. Let me get back to this chat because I've been neglecting you guys. I think it'll be a close fight. Aljamain could win. It could even be a split decision. I think it will be a split decision. I know Aljo said he wants to come in here and beat a guy on a big win streak and immediately insert himself in the title picture. You have to do that with a finish, and I don't think you're finishing Yusuf Zalal. If you do, it's probably by sub. I just don't think it happens. Okay, I just don't think it happens. And then again, if it's a split decision, that's not a type of fight that gets you right there in the title picture, especially with the names right there at the top currently. So yeah, Aljo, it's going to be a solid win. It's either he wins this unanimously and ragdoll Zalal, or he wins this closely and pretty much he's in the very same spot that he was before this bout, to be honest. That's what I just feel is going to happen. My man always gets the short end of the stick. I love Aljo. I'm gonna be sipping on his rum. I literally just ordered 3 more bottles of his shit so I could have 2 to drink and 2 to keep, because I only have 1 right now. I have the dark rum and I wanted to open it tonight for his fight. So I was like, all right, let me just buy another 3. Let me buy the 2 whites and another dark. So I'll crack this dark, and when the new light gets here, I'll crack the new light so I can see how that is. And then, I have some tasting ones and some show ones. So some hopefully one day I could get Aljo to sign it for me. But yeah. What am I missing? Me Rocket says, look, Cosmo, I stole the top ranking. I feel like Long Island Luke had tons of over 1.5 rounds in his weekly breakdown. Yeah, he wasn't feeling the over 2.5s too much. A lot of risky names fighting, Christian. Oh, what up, Christian? Oh, I see you. Grant is gonna get the dub. You think so over Martinetti? He probably will. I might do a 40-year-old parlay just to be like, yo, I faded all these 40-year-olds, so I should probably like just put them in one parlay just to make myself feel better about later. Have trouble trusting Marinetti, suspect record. I'm on Davey. I'd like that. Davey's the favorite, right? I'm pretty sure he's the favorite, so that makes sense. I like that. Having trouble trusting. Oh yeah, I read that. I think Dawson is elite with a granite chin. Alex Hernandez is one of those guys that you bet on him to win and he loses. Yeah. Yep. We'll see if that trend gets me yet again. We'll see. Me Rocket says, remember Timothy McVeigh? And then Lazy says, regretfully, yes. Hit the damn like button. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like below if you guys like the content. And then Me Rocket says, can I have the rest of your element? You can, brother. It's in this room somewhere. It's like some shitty flavors, too. I don't even remember. I just remember I had the chocolate flavor and thinking it would be like a milkshake, and it was not at all like a milkshake. It was so bad. It was so fucking bad, dude. All right, so we went through the overs and we went through the decisions. Now let's hit our unders. Let's hit our under props. I mean, let's start from the bottom and work our way to the top. There's not a lot of these, so let's get right into it. At bantamweight, Jafel Fijo and Cody Durden. Let me tell you why I don't think this goes over 2.5, and I think it goes under 2.5. You ready? Jafel Fijo, 5 KOs, 11 subs. That's 16 finishes. Guess how many wins he has? 17. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take the under 2.5 with Jafel Fijo. Why am I blindly taking Jafel Fijo and not telling you anything about Cody Durden? Well, let me tell you about Cody Durden. He is 1-6 in his last 7 fights, and he was finished 4 times in those 7 fights. 1 win in 7 fights. Yeah, give me Fijo by finish. Fijo by finish. For sure. For sure. Oh, and Fijo, I know he's 3-2 in his last. Sorry, I think he's 3-1 in his last 4. And they were all round 1 submissions. Tells you something about where I'll be headed with my bets. But half his losses are by sub, anyways. Do you think Cody Durden is going to sub him? He has 2 wins, 2 losses by sub, 2 losses by decision. You think Cody Durden's going to sub him? Cody Durden's going to have the performance of a lifetime to beat Jafel Fijo on this night. He's going to have to wrestle. He's going to have to stay on top, and he's going to have to not get caught. And that's something that Cody Durden just can't fucking do for some reason. So, yeah, we're going with Jafel Fijo sub. And the under. At middleweight, Jackson McVeigh and Cedricus Dumas. I got to take the under 2.5. This is the donkiest donk fight of the entire fucking night. This is, what's the fucking donkey from Shrek? And what's the fucking, oh, fuck, I can't remember I think there was a donkey and cat dog. I feel like this is those two going at it. This is what this is. Jackson McVeigh, Donkey McDonkerson. I think he got subbed it twice in his last 2 fights. Yeah, but he's 6-2. He's never been the distance. So that's already a reason to go under 2.5. And then Cedricus Dumas, whatever you want to say. He's 10-4, 4 KOs, 2 subs. So 6 of his 10 wins by finish. He's 1-3 with 1 no contest in his last 5, and he was finished in each of his losses. So another reason to go under. But the reason we're going to stay away from that. I'll save that. Another under that I like, and the last under that I like, is the heavyweight bout between Marcus Buchecha and Ryan Spann. All right, Spann is 23-11, 6 KOs, 14 subs. That's 20 finishes in his 23 wins if you can't do the math. All right? And of his 11 losses, he's been finished 8 times. 3 of them by sub, 5 by knockout. Okay? Now Buchecha, 5-2, 1 KO, 4 subs. All of his wins are by finish. Okay, he did have that draw with Kennedy and Nzechukwu in his last fight. But Spann, being the taller, longer guy, significantly, having most of his wins by finish, having way more experience in multiple weight classes against quicker and heavy guys, I'm going to go with Spann here to get that under done. All right, if Buchecha gets it done by sub, cool, man. Cool. But I like that under, and I like it with Spann. I do. I just do. Heavyweight unders, I hear are back. I mean, heavyweight overs, I hear are back. But heavyweight unders are going to be a motherfucking thing tonight. Let me tell you. Heavyweight unders are going to be a motherfucking thing tonight. All right? And that's the last under I like on the card. Now, that being said, we got to look at the props. But let's see who's in this. Own Kick says, cheapest and best viewer, follower, blah, 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 blah. Me Rocket says, I love Cedric's dumbass. And then Me Rocket also says, I can't believe you called him dumbass. That is messed up. I mean, he's got donk abilities, man. Very donkey. But guess what? I'm rocking with him. I'm rocking with him on this card. You guys will see by the end of this. I'm rocking with Dumas. You'll see. You'll see. But what did we just do? We just did unders. Time for KO props. Knockouts. Knockouts. Not a lot. Not a lot. Now, I'm going to tell you which fights have knockout ability. Okay. Max Griffin, Victor Valenzuela. That fight has knockout ability. If you're asking me which way I'm leaning, I'm probably going Valenzuela on the knockout if it happens. But I don't think it's happening. That's not a fight I feel confident in TKO. There's only 2 real fights where I'm like, I like the TKO a lot here. The TKO looks like it's a premier position here. And the fact that Ryan Spann has lost by KO 5 times, and the fact that he has 6 KO wins, but Buchecha is not at all a striker, I got to lean with the KO in that fight. I got to lean with the Spann KO. I got to lean with it. I can see a ground and pound because Buchecha's not going to let him sub him. Like, how bad would that look? So a Spann KO makes sense. And if it's not the Spann KO, what if Buchecha, we've seen him struggle to get the submission in MMA multiple times, even though his record implies that he gets, a lot. 4 of his 5 wins are by sub. But we've seen him struggle to get it. What if he can't get it with Spann? What if he has to GMP him? Spann just is stuck on bottom. Buchecha ground and pounding the fuck out of him. TKO is possible in that fight. All right. And then, like I said, Cedric Dumas, Jackson McVeigh. Jackson McVeigh has 3 KO wins. Cedric Dumas has 4 KO wins. Jackson McVeigh has never seen the distance. Cedric Dumas has seen the distance very little. Give me the Dumas KO, brother. Dumas KO. The one I feel more confident about is the Spann KO, but this is not a KO card in my opinion. I could be eating my words later and the entire main card isn't decisions and they're all KOs and I'm like, holy shit. But I'm not feeling a lot of KOs on this card. This feels like a grappler's delight. I mean, when they put 3 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu legends on the card, grappler's delight, my friend. Buchecha's on the card. Adolfo Vieira's on the card. Talita Alencar's on the card. Aljamain Sterling, one of the best grapplers in the UFC, is on the card. Yusuf Zalal has 10 submissions on his record. He's on the card. It's a grappler's delight, gang. And that's the only thing that makes me scared for Montel Jackson. Because Raoni Barcelos is on the card. That's the one thing. As you can see, you'll see later why I didn't take him money line in my low risk and why he's elsewhere. But yeah, this feels like a grappler's delight card. That's all I'm going to say. Keep in mind that the Apex is a smaller cage, less room for you to run. Grappler's card. That's all I'm going to say to you. Now, when the card plays out, I will be talking my shit. When it plays out exactly as I expect it to, I will be talking my motherfucking shit. I just want you to know that. But this feels like a grappler's card. Okay? And that's why there's not many knockouts for me to give to you. Now, subs? Now, subs. Man, throw a dart at the board, you might hit one. Throw a dart at the fucking board, you might hit one. I'm just going to list them all off because there's too many. Alan Carr sub, probably not happening, but it's possible. Okay? It's possible. Pilastri's never been subbed, but it is possible. All right? Francis Marshall just got a round 1 sub in his last fight. He has 5 submission victories on his record. Lucas Brennan has 8 submission victories on his record. That fight has sub ability. Jafel Fio has 11 subs and his 17 wins. Oh, and by the way, Cody Durden has 6 subs for wins and 5 sub losses. High sub ability in that fight. Don't forget that. All right. And by the way, Theo was subbed twice in his career. He's never been knocked out. 2 of his 4 losses by sub. High sub ability in that fight. Michelle Montague, 6 of her 7 wins are by sub. Are you guys seeing the theme of the fucking night yet? You seeing it? Are you seeing it? Adolfo Vieira, 11-4, 9 subs on his record. Marcus Buchecha, 5 wins, 4 subs on his record. Ryan Spann, 23 wins, 14 subs on his record. Oh, you want me to keep going? I got you. No, don't worry. I got you. I got the stats right here in front of me. Now, Barcelos doesn't have a lot of subs on his record, but grappling is a heavy part of his game. Davey Grant, 17 wins, 9 subs on his record. You remember that reverse triangle over, what was his name? Solid bantamweight. Oh, it's evading me right now. It's like Rodrigo or someone with an R, I think. What was his name? It's Brazilian. Who cares? He lost. He got subbed. All right. Rafa Garcia, 18 wins, 8 subs on his record. Of the only 2 finishes in Norma Dumont's 13-win record, 2 of them are by sub. And lest we not forget the main event, 10 subs for Zalal, 8 subs for Aljo. This is a grappler's card, gang. I would go ahead and just take like 3 to 5 fights and round robin them, fight and sub. You're going to fucking cash on something. Matter of fact, I'm about to do that the second I hop off the stream. I forgot to do me a subbers prop. A subber round robin. I forgot to do a subbers round robin. I'm doing me a subbers round robin. That's happening. I'm going to take 3 people by sub names, and I'm going to take like 5 fight end subs, and I'm going to do 2 different round robins. And then some money's coming back, whether it's I break even or I make money. I'm getting paid on that. I know it. Like I said, this is a grappler's card, gang. Plenty of submissions for you to look at. Moneyline props to look at on this card. These are the money lines that make sense. Okay. So I will use the app so we can get a good idea. We're going to run through the whole card now. Okay. So bottom to top, Let's start with Polastri Allen card. Minus 230 for Polastri. I like that. That's a solid money line play. I like that a lot. Ooh, I should have done a spreads. Next time I'll give you guys a spreads topic. I didn't do one for this fight for this card. I have it. I'll just give it to you off the cuff. But I forgot to make it a topic. I'll do that right after I do these money lines. Victor Valenzuela and Max Griffin. It's basically even. It's minus 130 plus 110. I don't trust a minus 130 for a new comer against Max Griffin. Now, if it was minus 130 Max Griffin and plus 110 Valenzuela, now we'd be talking. But the fact that it's flipped, I'm not feeling that money line. Okay. Also, money line I'm liking because of the odds. Now, this is my threshold essentially, but a solid parlay piece. Jafel Fio, minus 600 money line is a good piece to me. It feels like an easy leg to add. When you tell me that a fighter is like 1-7-1 in their last 9 fights, or 1-6 in their last 7 fights, or whatever it was, I'm going to take the other guy blindly, especially in the UFC, because this is them being, all right, this is his last fight here. Get him out of here. This is them saying, get him out of here. When they give him Jafel Fio in his last 3 wins or subs in round 1, they're saying, get the fuck out of here, scram. Okay? So I like that money line. Michelle Montague, minus 440 is high for a female fight. I'm not going to lie to you, especially with her having won previous UFC fight. I don't like her money line. I do not like her money line, especially since we've seen MBS look like shit on the scale and actually make a decent fight happen. So she could very much steal this fight, especially since Montague couldn't get the finish in her last fight and went the distance with Luana Carolina. Yeah, I'm not feeling that one. Cedricus Dumas at plus 145, I am feeling. Jackson McVeigh got finished in his last 2 fights. At least Cedricus Dumas, looking at Cedricus Dumas's record, at least the guys that he lost to are actually good. They're actually good. Dante Johnson. Who is the other guy? Wasn't it let me look at his fucking record. Let me stop trying to do this off the top. Strictly looking at Cedricus Dumas's record, which is why I like his money line. The guys that he lost to, Dante Johnson, Michael Oleksiejczyk, Nursultan Ruzibov, and Josh Fremd. All 4 of them are making fucking waves right now. All 4 of them. And those are guys that if you lost to, you shouldn't hang your head because of that. Okay? He's beaten Cody Brundage, Abu Azaitar, Dennis Tialulin. He has the no contest with Zachary Reese. All right, he's fighting decent opponents. But Jackson McVeigh, like, even when he's winning, it's like, okay, you beat. He lost to Bruno Ferreira, who we just saw brutally KO'd. He lost to Zach Reese, who went to a no contest recently, and he got finished by Zach Reese. He beat Mateo Garner in LFA. He beat Ben Fowler in LFA. I'm going with Cedricus Dumas at plus money. What are we doing? At least he's fought way better competition. At least he's seen levels ahead of what Jackson McVeigh's seen. He's getting finished by these guys. Give me Cedricus Dumas money line, please. All right. So I don't like Jackson McVeigh at minus 1. So I don't like Jackson McVeigh at minus 175. I hate it, actually. All right. Another one I don't like, Adolfo Vieira at minus 325. What? Isn't that the guy that was brutally finished in his last fight by Bo Nickel? That's not him. And he's minus 325 when the fight is over 2.5 rounds where the line's set at. Brother, we'll get into that next in the next topic. But no, I don't like a minus 300 Adolfo Vieira. Now, minus 155 Buchecha, I could be intrigued with that. I could be intrigued with a minus 155 Buchecha. Okay, that fight is rightly priced. I love the price on this fight. All right, Montel Jackson at minus 192. Go ahead and go grab your card and run to the fucking books right now. Go run to the books. Bro, Montel Jackson at less than minus 200. I fucking love that. I want to take my tongue and stick it down that Moneyline's throat. That's crazy. Minus 192 Montel Jackson. Hand that over. Put that shit in my hand right now. I need that. That's going to be in most parlays for me. Montel Jackson at minus 190. What? Who the fuck? What? Davy Grant at minus 122. Beautiful. I love a Davy Grant at minus 122. That's a scary fight for me. He's 40 years of age. He got finished in his last fight. I'm not going to be the guy taking that, but Davy Grant fans should be all over that. People that like Davy Grant to take on a Dana White Contender Series newcomer in the UFC. Ding, 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 ding. You heard that? Yeah, Davy Grant at minus 122 looks gorgeous. All right. That's Cameron Diaz in the mask right there. Okay. And then Rafa Garcia, Alexander Hernandez. That's a really nicely priced fight. Minus 118 for Hernandez. I love that. That's a parlay piece for me. Almost certainly. Rafa Garcia is solid, but this second, what the fuck do they call it? The second wind of Alexander Hernandez in his lightweight career has been marvelous to see. I mean, 2 KOs in his last 2 fights. He's come out with a new rigor. I mean, I love what I'm seeing out of Alexander Hernandez at minus 118 to take him. I'm absolutely hopping all over that. All right. Norma Dumont at minus 205 is scary for me. I thought this should be a little closer. I thought Norma Dumont at minus 205 was a little bit expensive. Minus 175, minus 160, minus 150 range, I'm okay with. Over 200, I'm like, Jocelyn Edwards just got 4 straight finishes, motherfucker. Excuse me? I know Norma Dumont's a decision queen. I know this fight's likely going the distance, and Jocelyn hasn't looked good in the last couple fights until she got those finishes. But I mean, I can't ignore that value on Jocelyn Edwards at plus 170 if you're going to give me Dumont at minus 205. And last but not least, Aljamain Sterling and Yusuf Zalal. Minus 135 Yusuf Zalal, plus 114 Aljamain Sterling. That's a pretty good priced fight. Zalal on a hell of a win streak right now. Sterling 1-2. Sorry, is he 1-2 or 2-1 since coming to featherweight? Sorry, 2-1 since coming to featherweight. I mean, he only lost to the guy that had a fantastic outing just a few weeks ago, who might be fighting for the belt next. Okay, so that's the guy that he did lose to at featherweight. And that was a close bout as well. Keep that in mind. All right. And then Yusuf Zalal, he's on an 8-fight win streak. All right. That's tough to go against, which is why this fight is priced how it is. But that's not bad. It's not bad for Zalal. Zalal fans are very happy with that price because after that Emmett fight, people were thinking he'd be minus 5 in his next fight. So, yeah. Shout out to that. Those are all the money lines I like and don't like. But if I like the money lines and don't like them, that tells you which dogs I'm on, baby. Big dogs barking. Big dogs barking. Big dogs barking all over this card. Big dogs barking all over this card, bro. I'm telling you, I love the dogs all over this place. Max Griffin, plus 110. That's not a bad dog to take. I mean, Cedricus Dumas, plus 145 as a dog. I love that. I'm taking Cedricus Dumas as a dog at plus 145. I'm taking him as a dog. I want you to know that. Eric McConico against Rodolfo Vieira when Rodolfo Vieira was brutally KO'd in November. I was in the building when the man was KO'd brutally. I was there. I know how long he was down for. I know how long it took for everybody was scared how long he was down for. The man was fucking frozen solid in the middle of the cage. I know. Give me Eric McConico plus 260. Give me Eric McConico at plus 260. I love him as a dog. Ryan Spann against Buchecha. Bigger, longer, stronger, more ways to win. Give me Ryan Spann as a dog. Plus 130. Plus 130. Big dogs barking. Big dogs barking. What else we got on here? Jocelyn Edwards at plus 170. Now, that is my least favorite of all the dogs. I'm going to let you know right now. It is my least favorite. but I like that price. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like that price. Plus 170, Jocelyn Edwards sounds juiced. It sounds juiced to me. And last but not least, I mean, you're going to see me wearing the shirt on the main card a minute later. Aljamain Sterling at plus 114. Let's go. Let's go. Big dogs barking. Big dogs barking. Aljamain Sterling as a dog. You know that's my guy. Long Island, stand up. Wantagh, stand up. Massapequa, stand up. Where the fuck's their gym at? What was it again? Not Medford. Not Seaford. Was it Wantagh? Whatever. Anyway, everybody stand up. Aljamain Sterling fights, and he's a dog. 2-1 at featherweight. Grappling heavy game plan. We've seen that be a kryptonite for Yusuf Zalal. Give me Aljamain Sterling as a dog. Don't make me bark again. Don't make me bark again. That's the show, yo. That's the show. Let me get to this chat. I have neglected you bad. Bad. Dumas versus Means. Why? The spammer must be on Twitch. I don't see it. Yeah, he's definitely on Twitch. Or a kick. It's one of those. I cannot see him beating Aljo, right, Seth Gross? That's why I'm on Aljo. Aljo is a dog. I love it. I love so many dogs on this card where, man, if you have a serious dog parlay that you believe in, you could walk away with thousands today. I'm letting you know right now. I feel like a lot of these dogs are barking, and if you pick the right ones, you can walk away with a lot of money. And I'm talking off like a $10 bill. I'm not even talking nothing crazy. I'm not even talking to throw 100 to make thousands. I'm talking you could throw $10 on like a good 4 or 5 dog parlay and walk away with thousands today. That's what I'm telling you. I'm just saying there's high dog ability on this card. You saw how many times I barked? Anyone else not believe in Zalal for this main event? I don't think anybody. I feel like a lot of people on Aljo, at least everybody I know in my camp. You know what I mean? All the Long Islanders are on Aljo. I cannot see it. I don't see Aljo subbing him. That's why and that is his only way to win. You think Aljo's only way to win is to sub Zalal? He can't win a decision. Mr. Backpack can't win a decision. Infrared. He caveated with "I am often wrong." That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Infrared. Me Rocket says I can't wait to see Francis Fire Marshall fight. Seth Good says that Infrared. So you're thinking Zalal decision, and then Infrared says yeah, pretty much. That will be my tapology, says Infrared. Me Rocket says, Infrared, you weren't wrong about Gable Stevenson when he was making his walkout. And then Lazy says, I reckon Zalal's only chance to win is a finish. I agree with that, Lazy. Aljo is a minute winner. Zalal has to win the moments. Oh, I see what you're saying. He's a minute, like he kills clock. Infrared also says at Me Rocket, once I saw the Bronze Starter tweet, I knew, but I'm also regularly wrong, says Lazy. Seth says that's basically how I see it. But to Infrared's point, Zalal decision could happen if Aljo can't control him. But I feel like Aljo can control him, says Seth Groach. Infrared says that Lazy in good company. Every week I learn that I know nothing, says Lazy. And then Infrared says, man loses a bit of self-belief he didn't even know he had. Davey is too old, man, says Seth. Yeah, which is why I'm on the other guy. I know he's very young and all this stuff, but 17-1 is hard to argue with, especially when your opponent was finished in his last fight. And fight years, too. Yeah, he's been around such a long time. Such a long time. Like, even when he fights, he looks stiff. You know what I mean? Like, he's looked like that for years, too, where he still used to look fluid. Let's say 6 or 7 years ago when you watched Davey Graham fight, he looked a little more fluid, willing to go more into rubber guards, stuff like that. These days, he kind of looks stiff and boxy when he's in there. I think you guys know what I'm talking about when you see him. Even when he throws a leg kick, when he pulls it back, it comes so slow. Lazy says, in non-UFC news, Cage Warriors today was supposed to be headlined by Sean Clancy, huge Scottish prospect. Fight got canceled because his opponent gashed his forearm open in the shower this morning. How stupid do you have to be to cut your arm open in the shower? And I can almost guarantee you it was a soap cage that did it. Because some of these soap cages, they have the ones with like bars. It kind of looks like a mesh strainer, but really big, if you know what I mean. And these motherfucking bars get kind of, I mean, it's water, bitch. Rests over. There's like a sharp edge. I can see he like slipped on a, some fucking bath wash or some shit. Tried to catch himself. His arm scraped that motherfucker. And they were like, bro, we can't let you fight like that. You needed stitches. You know what I mean? Oh, Lazy says, just like I said, he was leaning on a ceramic soap dish built into the shower wall and it broke. Dude cut the fuck out of his arm. So it was ceramic, not metal. Either way, those soap dishes do more harm than good. I'm just saying. Most of the time, I don't even use that motherfucker anyways. I leave it on the ledge of the sink because it's usually so close to the shower anyways in the hotels. Or there's like a ledge in there that I prefer because it's closer or it doesn't get wet or some shit like that. There's always better spots. Cosmo says, watch out for those nasty knees up the middle, crotch sniffer Aljo. That's a fact. I wish Infrared told us more things about what's going on with Gable Stevenson. Lazy says, join the watch along main card minute. Thank you for throwing that out there. And then Cosmo says, Tim Means seems like a bad father. Oh, yeah. Didn't he get in trouble for beating up a family member or something like that? Cosmo says, graphic. And then you are our resident expert at Me Rocket. Infrared says to Me Rocket. And then Infrared also says, yeah, we are fading Tim from now on. Silent Rob, what up, brother? He says, sup, gang. Did I miss the parlays? Nope, you're right on time. We're about to do the chart, and then we're about to do the parlays. And then from Vince from Helpy Shell. All right, guys. I'm gonna drop the comments just for a second so we can bring in the chart. You already know what's going down. We got the whole ass chart, and then I'll give you the lays, and then we'll get on with our days and watch basketball because it starts in 15 minutes. Okay, starting from the bottom. You see how I'm getting down. I got Polastri. I like the fight to go the distance regardless of who wins, but I do favor Polastri to get the win. Okay, going the distance. At welterweight, we have Max Griffin, Victor Valenzuela. I'm going to go ahead and take Valenzuela. Age comes for us all. We are not all LeBron James. Okay? Max Griffin, 40 years of age. One of these 40-year-olds is losing tonight, and it could be both. All right? I got to go Victor Valenzuela decision in this one. I don't think he finishes Max, but I think he gets the win. Keep in mind, Griffin does have a 2-inch height and 5-inch reach advantage. So if there's any old man that you might be willing to take tonight, I'd probably roll with Max. I'd probably roll with Max Griffin. You can see I got Griffin finish in that hedge column. This guy has been finished every time he lost. So, yeah. If you're going to go with a guy, maybe Max Griffin. All right? I like Brennan. Do not take this pick. All right? Something tells me Brennan wins. I don't know why. He's from PFL, Bellator. I've seen him fight over there. I did have an eye on him when he was over there. Something tells me he's winning today. That being said, no valid research or anything tells me that. But just we've seen multiple times a fighter coming on short notice, up a weight class, and do really well. And we're like, wow, didn't think this would go the distance, and it did. And wow, can't believe he stole that. Shout out to my man, Cameron Smotherman. All right? So, yeah, it could happen. And I think it could happen today. All right? So I'm rocking with Lucas Brennan. I think this fight goes the distance. Fight end sub is in my hedge column. You could see it there. But yeah, this fight is at lightweight. Marshall is a featherweight. Maybe he's permanently moving to lightweight, but he was a featherweight. Size could be a deciding factor in this fight. Both of these guys have plenty of subs on their record, so that's why you see fight end sub in the hedge column. Marshall decision in the hedge column. Brennan spread, obviously. If I like Brennan decision, I'd be all over Brennan spread. So yeah. And the over there. At bantamweight, Jafel Fio and Cody Durden. I like this round one sub for Fio. I feel like he's going to continue his trend. They brought him in to do a job, and he's going to do it. I like the under. Durden decisions in that hedge column, but I don't believe in it at all. And then Fio finish. All right, you see it. I mean, in his last 4, all round one submissions, Durden 17-10. I mean, how many times do we put our money on a 17-10 fighter? Not a lot. All right. 1-6 in his last 7, finished 4 times. We're going with Fio. Okay. At middleweight, Jackson McVeigh, Cedricus Dumas. We're going with the Dumas TKO in round 2. I like the under. McVeigh subbed twice in his last 2 bouts. 1 in round 1, 1 in round 2. Dumas 1-3 with 1 no contest in his last 5. Finished in each of his losses, but at least the guys Dumas lost to are actually good. Okay, so I think he can get this win. At women's bantamweight, Mayra Bueno Silva and Michelle Montague. Michelle Montague decision. I think she's going to do it again. She does have 6 subs on the record. Montague finish should be looked at because Mayra Bueno Silva has never been subbed. She has been TKO'd once. Okay. She did look terrible on the scale. She hasn't won a fight since 2023. All right. Yeah. Mayra Bueno Silva has not won a fight in 3 years. All right. She's 0-4-1. Sorry, she's 0-4 with 1 no contest in her last 5 fights. All right. Keep in mind that Montague is also taller and longer by 2 inches. So, yeah, Montague, probably a decision. But, hey, you never know what can happen. She might get another sub. At middleweight, Rodolfo Vieira and Eric Mecanico. Like I said, big dogs barking on this card for me. I like Mecanico. You know what? Fuck it. Was Max Griffin a dog? He was a dog, right? Was he plus 110 or was he minus 130? I might switch that Griffin pick. I've been thinking about it since I fucking said it earlier. He's plus 110. Give me that dog too. Fuck it, bro. Give me Griffin, man. Give me Griffin, bro. Fuck it. I like him as a dog too. Eric Mecanico to get the decision. I like a Mecanico spread bet. When he has lost, he got TKO'd, right? In his last couple bouts. I don't see Vieira TKOing him. If he does get the win, it's a sub. I think a Mecanico spread bet, Mecanico decision, all that. That's very possible. Mecanico has a 4-inch reach advantage. He's going to want to keep this on the feet, and that's going to be a great tool to keep it there. I mean, Vieira, not the most renowned for his takedowns. Jiu-jitsu, yes. Takedowns, not so much. And this is at middleweight. These guys are a little more nimble. They're not as stationary as heavyweights. Speaking of stationary heavyweights, Marcus Buchecha, Ryan Spann. I like Spann to get a TKO. I like it to happen early. I like Buchecha to run into a wall with him and be like, holy fuck, he's long as fuck. All right. Spann taller and longer by 2 inches, whether it's height or reach. All right. Spann 23-11, 6 KOs, 14 subs, but I just don't think he subs a guy like Buchecha. I know he's going to want to. I know that's a beautiful feather to have in your cap. I don't think he does it. If anybody's getting the sub, it's Buchecha, which is why that's in my hedge column. You see the under. I think this fight doesn't go the distance. Somebody's getting the finish. But if it does go the distance, not a bad hedge. You see it in the hedge column. I know you see it. At bantamweight, Montel Jackson and Ione Barcelos, I like the Jackson decision. I mean, the man has an 8-inch reach advantage. He has a 3-inch height advantage. He just got this test in his last bout with Davison Figueiredo, which, by the way, he only lost by split. All right? It was a split loss to Davison Figueiredo. I'm getting Jackson to right his wrongs from the last bout to get a decision win. And if he doesn't, you see what the fuck is in my hedge column. I got that Jackson TKO up in there. And Barcelos' decision is possible. I don't think he finishes Jackson. But, yeah, it's in the hedge column just in case. You never know. At bantamweight, Davy Grant and Adrian Luna Martinetti. I'm going to go with Martinetti here. I know Davy Grant is solid. I know Davy Grant is 40. I know Davy Grant has had a hell of a career, lots of fights, but he did get finished in his last bout. Martinetti, 17-1, 4 KOs, 6 subs. He's never been finished. He's riding a 15-fight win streak. There's just too many things for me to be like, yeah, let me take Davy Grant. You know, especially when Davy Grant's a favorite still. I mean, I got to roll with the dog. Man. Plus 102. So Martinetti decision for me. Another dog on my board. Big dogs barking, like I said at the start of my little spiel here. But, yeah, Martinetti decision. Last 3 bouts. Rafa Garcia and Alex Hernandez. I like a Hernandez decision. Like I said, I like his momentum. He's the younger of so actually, he is the older of the two, I believe. Now that I'm thinking of it. But he's got a 2-inch height and reach advantage. He's got 2 KOs in his last 2 bouts. He's coming in with a lot of confidence. Rafa Garcia was TKO'd in his lone loss in his last 5 bouts. He's 4-1 in his last 5. His lone loss was that TKO to Dawson. Alexander Hernandez does have 2 TKOs in his last 2 bouts. That could make Rafa Garcia a little apprehensive. So I could see Alexander Hernandez getting a big lead and keeping it. And Alexander Hernandez to get a decision win. At women's bantamweight, Norma Dumont and Jocelyn Edwards. I like Jocelyn. Again, I like the dog. I'm just taking her because I like the value here. It's probably going to be a Dumont decision. Let me be honest with you, but I love Edwards at plus 170. I have to take it. She's 17-6, 8 KOs, 4 subs. She's on a 4-fight win streak, all finishes, 2 KOs, 2 subs. She has a sub loss that should be noted, and Dumont does have 2 sub wins in her 13 wins, so 11 decision wins. It's probably going to be a Dumont decision, but I like Edwards as a dog. Edwards' decision is what I'm taking. And last but not least, I'm taking my last dog on the board, Aljo. Featherweight, baby. He's 2-1 at featherweight. He's a grappler. Grappling heavy seems to be a thing that doesn't do well with Zalal. He likes to take out those strikers and use grappling against them. I like Aljamain Sterling to use his size, his grappling ability, his ability to control and backpack Yusuf Zalal to a decision. You see the column over 2.5. Sterling spread. Zalal TKO is probably the only way he gets it done. I don't see him subbing. Sterling sub. Oh, I have Zalal TKO in here twice. Maybe I meant Zalal decision in case he gets the decision. I mean, it could happen. It could be a very close fight. You know what I want to write in here? I want to put an asterisk and write split decision, because this just has split decision written all over it. This just has split decision written all over it. So I feel like if I look at a split decision prop and it's like, oh, fight to be won by split, and it's like plus 200, I'll take that, man. That feels right to me. Same thing with the Norma Dumont and Jocelyn Edwards fight. This could be a split decision fight too. Let me put that in there too. A lot of these could, if we're being honest. Garcia Hernandez, I don't see a split as much. It is possible. Davey Grant Martinetti, I could definitely see a split there. Definitely see a split there. All right. And then the rest of these, I don't think so. It's pretty cut and dry. One side is winning. Yeah. Maybe Griffin Valenzuela, but I don't think so. I think it's either one side's unanimous or the other. And I think Griffin could get that done. But, you know, Valenzuela. The reason I had to switch my pick on him, all his losses are by finish. The man don't know how to win a decision. So why the fuck would I take him? You know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, let me rock with my boy Max. Max Payne, baby. Max Payne. Let's go. And those are all the picks. Now, with that being said, let me get out of here. I got about 5 minutes before the basketball game starts, but I got to give you guys the parlays. So let me bring back in sub game that read that, bro. Pilastri really isn't that good. Has no grappling. Toledo might dominate her. Yeah, I don't have her in any parlays, but I like Pilastri, man. It's not, you know what I mean? I like Pilastri by decision. I think it's minus 105. I usually take the favorite by decision, the dog spread, and the dog by decision. So it won't matter to me. I'll probably get my money back if Pilastri wins, and I'll win a good amount of money if Toledo Alencar wins. And I do have a Grappler Legends parlay that I took with Luke. So yeah, Alencar, Buchecha, Vieira, just in case they, decide to be the grapplers that the promotion kind of wants them to be. So yeah, and then Cosmos says, see y'all tonight. So here are the parlays, guys. Here's the low risk. Low risk at a plus 203. We got Aljamain Sterling at the top. We got the over 1.5 in Rafa Garcia and Alexander Hernandez. And we have Jafel Fijo Moneyline to get it done, whether it's decision, sub, TKO. We don't care. Jafel Fijo, Aljo, and the over 1.5 in that bout. For the high risk, you guys know I had them big dogs barking, every single one of those. So I gave you guys 2 favorites, that slight favorites that I liked, and 2 dogs that I liked. And I gave you guys the dogs that weren't too heavy. All right. The parlay looks pretty crazy, but it's not that crazy. Okay. Hernandez is a minus 120. Montel Jackson a minus 190. Ryan Spann a plus 130. Cedricus Dumas a plus 140. All right. Those 4 legs give you a plus 1554. We're trying to make big money here. Like I said, there's a lot of dogs to be looked at on this card, and I'm feeling a few of them. And I took some of these dogs in my high risk parlay. And last but not least, we have the clubber, subber, dubber parlay at a plus 1598. We have Jafel Fijo by sub. We have Cedricus Dumas by finish. And we have Ryan Spann by TKO. Those are the ones I'm feeling. You guys know the clubber, subber, dubber parlay. Clubber by TKO, subber by submission, dubber to get the win by finish. All right, and those are my 3. Those are all the plays. I hope you guys enjoy basketball for the next 4 hours before we get into MMA. I hope I see you guys on the main card minute. Again, if you like the content, don't forget to scan this QR code right here. Subscribe to the channel. One more round fights. Don't forget to like the video below on your way out. All right, show some love so the algorithm knows you like this shit, or else it'll fucking bury me. Don't. I need to breathe, motherfucker. Don't bury me. Do not bury me. We're trying to get to 850. All right. We also got merch. Don't forget to follow on social. I'll be putting the parlays out right now after I put in my fucking basketball bets real quick. I got like 2 minutes to do it. We got merch. You see the Clubber Subber Double T's behind us. We got to get to 850 before we can get the shot glasses up. So please don't forget, check out the merch if you like it. And then I'll see you guys later on the main card minute over here, 4:45 p.m. main card minute, putting belt to ass on FanDuel, DraftKings. They hate to see me coming. They hate to see me coming. Like I said, it's a Grappler's Delight card. Big dogs barking. I'm going to see you guys in a few hours. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out. Deuces. I live life how I wanna. Smoke out to marijuana. I live my life in these streets, licking smoke out the window. I'm on a trail. Maybe I'm a gunner, cause I live in Yonder. Hot box like a sauna in a foreign or Americana. Let me grind my green, roll up, put inside my weed. Those wonder the sky go the highest, then go puffin' like my trees, floating on an Nimbus cloud. Who's blessing where I'm hitting loud, blowing smoke like guns blazing, blowing holes in a spanner one day, and I'm saying I live life how I wanna. Smoke out to marijuana. I live my life in these streets, making smoke out the window. I'm on a trail. Maybe I'm a gunner, cause I live in Yonder. Hot box like a sauna in a foreign or Americana. My eyes low, my vibes up, yeah. My fire smoker cause of sinus. If you want, I got more in a grinder. After the blunt, you can call me a highness. I live life how I wanna. Smoke out to marijuana. I live my life in these streets, licking smoke out the window. I'm on a trail. Maybe I'm a gunner, cause I live in Yonder. Hot box like a sauna